So we get to dive back into an uncomfortable time in history as we go to the next arc of the Uncanny X-Men. Support the comic book industry by visiting your local LCS. My name is Dorian, this is SE on Comics. We continue our coverage of Uncanny X-Men with number 13. Our story starts off with a Miss Henrietta Benjamin. Everybody calls her Henry. She is a learned school teacher. I use that term just to show kind of how far back we're going. Doesn't really say how far, but you can take a guess. Now she has to go on a trip that she does not want to go on. It makes her very uncomfortable, but duty is duty, which she says repeatedly. As she is leaving her apartment, as you can see, it says the Baker Circle Boarding House for Colored People. Again, that should show you how far back we have gone. As she pulls out a knife from her bag and she's making a mark on the sign, she has never been further than 3 miles from this apartment ever in her life. As she gets to the train station, this is in Chicago, the conductor that's helping her on is letting her know a few things that she might want to keep in mind. He lets her know that she better use the bathroom now, because if not, with all the stops that are going to be between now and Memphis is going to be the only place she can do it again. As we see more signs of discrimination, where it says white waiting rooms, men this way, ladies that way, Negroes this way. This is also a stark reminder that if you were a white female back then, you weren't at the top of the pecking order. No, you were second class at best. The ticket guy asks her where she's headed, and she says Haven, Louisiana. So now we cut to Haven, Louisiana, but in the present time. As Remy and Rogue lay together, Rogue stole all the covers. Then she got the nerve to say that she's cold, with all the covers. But Remy believes in happy wife, happy life, so he gets up to grab another blanket for her to steal when he hears something. And that something says, "Thief, come quickly, hurry. Don't be impertinent, mortal." Now, if you've been rocking with me for this entire series, and you remember all the way back to issue 1, then you know who this is. It's the dragon who he stole the Eye of Agamotto from. And I'm pretty sure he wants it back. Even though I must say, the Eye has made Remy a way better teleporter than Nightcrawler. And he doesn't have to smell like farts afterwards. So he sniffs the air, and this dude got a nose that might be a little bit better than Wolverine's. He's like, hey, was a giant razor bill here, the magical kind, he would have been massive. He would have talked with a Laverian accent. Since he arrived after 2 mere mortals had sex, which happened all the way in Storm number 3, when Wolverine was just clapping them cheeks. Boy, that still pisses me off. God, T'Challa, you had one job. All right, you keep your wife happy. You see how Remy's doing it with Rogue, right? Keep your wife happy. Then you won't have some little runt just clapping your ex-wife's cheeks like that. Let's stop. Let me stop. For all intents and purposes, Wolverine was probably clapping them cheeks before they got married, and he made sure he was clapping them cheeks afterwards. T'Challa's lost. The high priest annulled our marriage. You are the high priest. Anyway, the dragon's like, I'm surprised you don't got the Eye of Agamotto on you. So Gambit busts out his card and says, as long as I got these things, I'm ready to go. So the dragon says, calm down. I'm actually here to show you something. Hop on. So then we cut to Ransom, who's sleeping, and then he's woken up by Deathdream. He put his hand on his mouth, which would have startled me too. So Ransom's ready to fight. Deathdream tells him to be quiet. Jitter and Calico's behind him. And Calico's like, oh man, you're nearly nude. I mean, he's in his underwear. He's sleeping in his underwear. I mean, I sleep in my underwear. Let me know in the comments. You wear pajamas? I don't need to hear that you sleep in the nude or anything like that, but pajamas or underwear? Let me know in the comments. Or shorts. So Deathdream is leading him somewhere, and they're like, where you going? But he's kind of talking crazy. I mean, crazy as far as Deathdream goes. I mean, he talks like this all the time. And he's like, it's the highway of pain. As soon as he said that, I'm like, then why are we going? They get to the dock, and they had a choice of choosing a boat that has a motor or a paddle boat. They grab a paddle boat. So as they're rowing, they come to this huge structure that looks like it does not belong in the swamp on this very small island. And as they're rowing, Alice and Mr. Marquez, the guy that runs the farm, his wife is like, they're headed towards the door. He's like, I know, Alice. And she goes, well, can you stop them? And he's like, nope, they deserve to know. It's in their hands now. So now we cut back to Remy and the dragon. The dragon's like, there's something wrong, little thief? And Gambit's like, yesterday I got hit pretty hard. He's talking about his fight with Killer Croc. I mean, the Vic. If you don't know what I'm talking about, links in the description. Plus he's like, kind of like underdressed for where we're at, which is Antarctica. The reason why I know it's Antarctica, because the dragon says, don't worry, it's going to warm up soon, because we're here. And Gambit's like, where's here? And the dragon's like, think you guys call it the Savage Land? And as soon as he set Remy down, 2 T-Rex come out of nowhere talking about, looks like lunch and a little snack. So now we cut back to Miss Henry on the train, and the conductor keeps flashing her this M sign, which she's like, I know what that means. We are mutates, which eventually would evolve into we are mutants. So they've been flashing at him for a very long time. And we also find out that the reason why she's on the train headed to Haven is because her mom died. She's taking her to lay her to rest, or I guess her remains, so she's probably cremated. So now we cut back to present time. We're with the kids and they go on the island. Deathdream's like, you smell that? It smells like a morgue, not one of the fun ones. This dude's weird. I like his character. And then Calico's helping Jitter out of the boat, and then Ransom's like, and Jitter's like, what are you looking at? And he's like, oh, nothing. You're just both blushing. Looks like Jitter and Calico might have a thing going on. So they come to these stairs, they start going down. Calico's horse is like, nah, this is how far I go. And Ransom's like, it's a damn shame, only smart one's the horse. So as they're walking down the stairs, something's written on the wall, and it's in a different language. And Jitter goes, linguist scholar, and then she's able to read it. And it says, bring us your own to rest forever. Her power is so underrated. Like, it don't only seems like a power, it seems like a gadget that she uses, but I'm assuming this is her mutant power, but it's pretty cool. So as I make it to the bottom of the steps, there's all these caskets, and then there's a book. And the Ransom's like, Deathdream, is this a graveyard? So then we cut back to the Savage Land, where Gambit is swinging like Tarzan, or more appropriately, Kazar, so he doesn't wind up as a meal for this T-Rex. Not much of a meal, more like a midnight snack. He throws the playing cards at the T-Rex, but they're not charged real high because he doesn't want to hurt the T-Rex, because he understands that, look, he's just doing what T-Rex do. You know, there's no like ill intent towards it. And the dragon, in a nutshell, pretty much tells him, quit acting like a... He uses his ice breath, which last time I checked, I thought he had fire breath in the first issue, but now I guess he has ice breath. And he freezes the hell out of the first T-Rex, or one of the T-Rex. So Gambit really doesn't want to hurt the other T-Rex, but the dragon's like, look, you gotta do what you gotta do, because he ain't gonna stop. So Gambit runs up the ice, turns around, comes down with all these playing cards, and hits the T-Rex in the face, and now he's down. Down for good. Let's just say this, if he wasn't down for good, he will be in a minute. Because the dragon starts making a meal out of him now. And the dragon's like, oh yeah, by the way, that Eye of Agamotto, yeah, you're going to start craving flesh. And when it's all said and done, you're going to need all your family and friends. Just letting you know now. Thought I'd tell you because I like you. But yeah, you're going to eat flesh. You're going to become a cannibal. And you'll eat your friends. So then we come back to the past. Henry finally made it to Louisiana. As soon as she gets off, a constable walks up to her, says, hi, just want to perform a service. Grabs her bag, opens it up, and dumps it out all over the platform. He doesn't find anything suspicious, so he just walks away. Man, I'm so happy that doesn't happen nowadays. Oh, that's right. It does. So as she's picking up her stuff, she sees the sign that she left at her home in Chicago on one of the platform signs. And then we also see that her eye glows red. So yes, she is also a mutant. So then we cut back to our young mutants, and Deathdream keeps telling everybody, don't have fear, don't have fear, don't have fear. And I wonder, why do you keep saying this? And actually, Deathdream has a really good point to tell them don't have fear, because he takes them to the man thing. And if you have fear in your heart, you will burn at the touch of the Man-Thing. I am so excited. I haven't seen him since the Incredible Hulk, and that was a while ago. So excited for this next issue coming up. Actually, I take that back. He was in X-Force, if I'm not mistaken. He was in the issue of X-Force. But love the Man-Thing. He's a great character. I mean, he's probably never going to get his book, so this is how you get the Man-Thing. And also, too, he's at the nexus of all realities, which I should have put 2 and 2 together, because nexus of all realities in the swamp. Like, normally in Florida, but I guess you could say it's in the Florida, Louisiana swamp, because they're all connected. Georgia, too.